Good morning. Good morning, Miss Joy.
Good morning, Mark. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. I see Penny popped on there too. See, I don't get all these screens with just names. Y'all got to get dressed up to come to class.
Mark, it for what? To be in the house?
You got to put the uniform on.
I have my first appointment today at 3.
So is it going to take you that long to get ready?
It might.
And we appreciate that.
I am actually really slow when it comes to getting ready. It takes me, I have to get up at least 2.5 hours, 3 hours before it's time to roll. I'm slow, very slow.
Yeah, no comment on that. No comment on that. Good morning, Miss Sandy. I see you popped in there too.
I have
And
to
Miss
do
Penny's there.
my
Hey
devotion.
guys,
I have to walk slow around the house, before I'm ready.
I get it. Morning, Miss Heidi. I see. I'm gonna show my age. Like y'all probably don't remember this, but when I was a kid, romper room was a big thing, and whoever the teacher was, she'd have a little look like a looking glass and say, "Well, good morning to Sam, and I see Billy and stuff like
I
that."
remember.
That's exactly who I feel like out there.
I remember that too.
So now I know how old you are.
Oh, exactly. I think
Yeah,
I've told you how old I am, Mark.
yeah. Well, I don't take 3 hours to get ready. All right. Enough of this. Y'all didn't come here to hear about this stuff like this. So I want to talk about this NVAR COVID-19 addendum. I have copied information from this website. So if you go to nvar.com, pop on the front looking for open for business. This is the FAQs. The attorney there did an hour-long video, which, yes, is it worth spending an hour of your time? Absolutely. I did it live to explain what this thing is. VAR rushed out first, got one. NVR did one like the next day, but I think it's important to use it. I'm hearing some brokerages are quote unquote requiring that, which I can't imagine that a broker can make a buyer or seller do that. I think it's best practices because we don't have any idea what our world's gonna be like. I think, we've kind of figured it out what's happening the last week and how we're gonna live our lives. When this first started, we didn't know, could we work, could we not work, could we sell houses, could we not sell houses? And overall, I think our industry is responded well. We're figuring it out. Now, I'm still not going to say go out and show houses. I'm going to say you need to do what you feel comfortable with. Make sure that you're safe, your family's safe, your client's safe, things like that. But let's go ahead and jump in and talk about this. It says, what circumstances can I use the form? This addendum is a response to the rapidly evolving COVID-19 pandemic, can be used during or after ratification. So if we have a contract right now, this is an addendum to the contract. Just like if we were going to change the closing date or any other things, we can send it over there to them, or they could send it us. We're under no obligation to agree to it, but I think once we get into it, it probably may make sense. It says it can be used to extend deadlines, settlement date as many times as the party agreed during a transaction. When we look at the thing, I want to go to the FAQs first before we look at the form. On the upper right-hand corner, it's got a blank. You can add number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many times you ever need it. It says may only be used with NVR sale agreements, but not intended for the Virginia Landlord Tenant Act lease. That's got a whole thing covered by Virginia law. It says, how does the addendum protect the parties? It says this addendum incorporates broad force majeure provisions in the contract and extends them to pandemics, epidemics, government closures due to such events. These provisions excuse a buyer and or seller performance when the ability to do so is impossible or impractical to events beyond their reasonable control. All right, 2 weeks ago, Spotsylvania County closed the courthouse. Next day, state Supreme Court said, you can't close the courthouse. We've got to record land records. You guys are essential. Next day, Spotsylvania said, the heck with the Supreme Court, we're going to close. The next day, Supreme Court or Spotsylvania County says, we're going to open. So people don't know what's going on, and we're trying to figure this out. This is just going to protect everybody. And it says to improve clarity for realtors and their clients, the addendum refers to these force majeure provisions as an unforeseeable events. Does the COVID-19 addendum give the buyer excuse to get out of the contract? No. This is not intended to be a get out of jail free. Okay? Just because you want out, you don't feel good about it, it's not going to let you just get out of jail. So people need to understand that. There has to be a reason that they can't do it. I don't feel comfortable about going to a title company and closing. That's not it. Somebody can come to your house. Somebody can stand 6 feet away from you and watch you and notarize it. Okay. It does not introduce any new contingencies to the contract that were not previously negotiated. It's not going to change the terms. And it does not resuscitate contingencies that have been satisfied. So if the HOA docs, that's not HOA, it's not a contingency, but if the home inspection addendum or the radon addendum has been satisfied or removed, you can't bring life back into it. It doesn't give either party the unilaterally ability to void the contract. What that means is unilaterally is one. We just can't send a notice over to void it. I'm going to tell you that people are going to use this addendum. They're going to use it wrong. But that's why you guys are here to learn about it. The COVID-19 addendum is limited in scope and limited situations where performance by either party becomes impossible due to restrictions of movement. Let's say the government says, hey, nobody leaving their house. Then that's going to be a problem. Closures of businesses and courthouses, these restrictions will generally have equal effect on the ability of sellers and buyers to fulfill their contractual obligation performance. Let's just say we got 10 home inspectors in Fredericksburg. And out of those 10, 3 of them says, you know what, I'm not doing any more business. I'm not going out. Cool, now we got 7. So those 7 now have to do all their business. So what normally used to be 7 days or 10 days, maybe it's 15 days. So it gives us the ability to extend these different things. What constitutes an unforeseeable event in the addendum? Section 1 defines what constitutes an unforeseeable event and includes any event or circumstances beyond a party's reasonable control that causes performance to become impossible or impractical. Impossibility and practicability is a legal term of art and means much more than subject fear, difficulty, or inconvenience. If parties can perform by any other means, the addendum will not excuse performance. You can stand 6 feet away and notarize something. Just for, if I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I'm a notary too. If you have any uncertainty as to whether your client's situation has caused performance to become impossible, direct your client to an attorney. Okay, so what happens if an unforeseeable event occurs? Does the contract become void? No. It says the unforeseeable event will not render the contract void, and neither party is permitted to unilaterally cancel the deal. Instead, Section 2 specifies that the buyer and or seller experiencing an unforeseeable event are not in default. So they're not in breach of contract, and thus is not liable to other party for losses or damages arising out of cause or unforeseeable event. As always, just like anytime anybody wants to get out, we both can agree and we can release the contract. On Section 3 and 4, it says, what if we want to extend certain deadlines? You can. It gives you boxing checks, and we'll look at it then. This is not all the frequently asked questions, but I figure I want to hit the highlights. This is the addendum. It's in your NAR library now. It's in zip forms. It is called COVID-19 addendum. This is, and like I said, right here, you can change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to auto-populate just like everything else and flow through. Here's the gist of it here. Now, 1 and 2 are going to apply. You can do optional 3 and 4. Okay. Talks about number 1, an unforeseeable event. An unforeseeable event means any event or circumstance beyond a party's reasonable control that causes performance to become impossible or impractical, including but not limited to epidemics, pandemics, including COVID-19. I guess they were included in case we have COVID-20. Quarantines, governmental declarations of emergencies, closings, or of delays in related government and business services, such as land records, lenders, title escrow, strikes, riots, war, or acts of God. And number 2, it says it's no default. Buyers and or sellers shall not be in default or incur any liability to the other party for losses or damages of any nature for any failure or delay in the performance of their obligations under this contract arising out of or caused by directly or indirectly unforeseeable event. Such obligations on this contract include but not limited to performance, settlement, or delivery or possession of property. So when we use this addendum, 1 and 2 are going to apply. Optional, 3 or 4. See the word or, not and. So let's just say we're in the middle of a deal right now. All of a sudden, on Monday they close and they close the streets and no one can go out and do anywhere. You might want to use 3. It says the general settlement date and deadline extensions. All deadlines on this contract, including settlement date, are extended by blank days. What's that number? No idea. 15 days, 30 days. I have no idea. Pick a day. And then if we need to modify it again, we can modify it again.
Hey, Mark, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Hey, so I used this addendum yesterday for one of the realtors. And as you know, I do the TC work also. Yep. And her buyer, his income is questionable right now, so I used that to extend it by I think it was 18 days.
Okay.
Because he's not sure he can afford the house with the way the market is and the business, not getting as much business as he was. Okay. So in that instance, can we use that? No. I did option 3.
Yeah, no, this is only for unforeseeable events. Okay, now I see how you can get there, but the financing addendum, what's going to kick?
Well, the financing addendum deadline is passed. So, and then now his business is going south. So I extended it so that he could probably talk to his lender to see if he even qualifies anymore, because we have the automatic extension. So that continues on until the house is settled. So it goes on until settlement date with the automatic extension. So that just gives him a little bit more time to talk to his lender to see if he qualifies now with the drop in his business or not. So that's what I used for the realtor yesterday.
I think you're okay doing that. I mean, you bought time, but it doesn't change any other, like the FAQ doesn't change any other conditions in there.
Right.
And I understand the unforeseeable event talks about reasonable control, talks about quarantines, governmental declarations, emergencies, or closing. Now, here, I mean, let's just say we didn't have this addendum. Let's just say this didn't happen and the guy's business just dropped off and now he can't afford it.
Right.
What will we do?
Well, the finance won't go through, correct?
Correct. The financing wouldn't go through, but the financing, the timeline has already gone past, right? So either we have
not with automatic extension. With automatic extension, extends up until the day of settlement.
Okay. It depends on what I heard you first said is the financing contingency has expired.
No. It was 28 days financing contingency, but with automatic extension.
Okay. All right. I misheard you. But this doesn't give, just because his business has dropped off, this is not what this is about.
Okay. So they can't walk. Well, they can if the lender says he doesn't qualify.
Well, absolutely. And that's probably because it's going to default back to what the contract says. I mean, these are great questions because this is the stuff that's going to happen because, I mean, I ride by all these restaurants and everything's closed.
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, I mean, restaurant people, when I think of restaurant people, I think of tipped employees and maybe not. But, what about the restaurant managers? Everybody's income and no one knows. Now, let's just say, for example, we're in a contract and people just get cold feet. This is not a get out of jail free because you get cold feet.
Right.
Okay. But yes.
I was just confused because I figured if I bought a little bit more time for her buyer, then, financing wise, at least the lender could see if he still qualifies or not, try to save this deal.
I think that's pretty smart on what you did.
Okay.
You bought time and then, but everybody's okay with that.
Okay. Well, I don't know because I just sent it off,
Yeah, but this okay. So if everybody agreed to it, we've agreed by 15 days or whatever the numbers. We don't have to give a reason.
Right.
But it says all deadlines on this contract, including settlement date, are extended by blank days.
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, at the end of it, if he can't afford it, then you will use the financing addendum as the kick contract.
Right.
Just deposit back. But I think that is a great example of why this may happen. I've heard some people that are stationed overseas and were supposed to be back in the States last week, and their orders, I mean, they just stopped travel. They still want to buy the house, so they've used this and extended out another 15, 20 days. So, but once again, too, let's just say we pick 30 days, and the world gets good, and we can close in 5. You can change it. But remember, in our contract, I don't know, next to the last page, the second to last page, it says time's the essence. April 8th means April 8th. It can be before, but it can't be after. So that's why I said, let's just say you do 15 days, and then you want 5 more days, change the number on the top, addendum number 2, do it again.
Mark, I have a question.
Okay.
This is Heidi. So I have a short sale. I'm just trying to figure out if this is something that we should be using like immediately, adding to our pending contracts, or if it's only as need basis.
Well, okay, so my gut feeling is that, yeah, I think everybody ought to do this. We we need to talk to our clients and see what they feel. How do you feel about this? Do you think, maybe they're an essential worker and they're working for, I don't know, the government, and their income's never going to change. And they're going to be okay with it. You know, maybe they don't need to do it. I'm working with one of our agents now that's put an offer on. She sent the addendum over to the sellers, and the seller said, we don't want to sign it.
Mm.
So I think it's good protection for everybody because, like I said, with the example of Spotsylvania closing, we didn't know what to do. I mean, I was talking to Lori over here, and because of Virginia is a wet settlement state, that everything has to be recorded within 48 hours, or it's not a closing. Wow, buyers that want to buy, sellers want to sell. Everybody's got the money, but because we can't take it to the courthouse, then we don't have a settlement. I think it's something that we have to have a conversation with everybody. I'm giving you the 30-minute, 25-minute version of this thing, but I think it's important to go out and watch that video because the NVAR attorney does it. And once again, my caveat is I'm not an attorney. I just want to be the source of the source and help you guys understand it too.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Or you can use number 4. It says specific extensions. The following check deadlines and or settlement dates are extended by blank days. Check the boxes. Settlement date, home inspection, radon, financing, appraisal, well inspection, septic, sale of buyer's property and kick out, purchase another home deadline, short sale deadline. So Heidi, there might be your short sale deadline. Because if you put in, if you're doing a short sale, they put in 60 days, you might want to add another 30 days.
Well, the thing is, we already have bank approval. It has a HELOC that we're just waiting on a second signature on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, my buyer is good to go. He's still working, thank God. And we're just, he's eager to close. We've been at this for 3 months, I think, already. So we're basically just waiting on that second signature to close, and we would be good to go. But I'm just thinking with the settlement closing, if we should all sign this or not. I mean, I don't know at what point should I need to.
Yeah, I think you need to look at your deadlines. I think the conversation you have was with the buyer, and I understand short sales signatures or short sale signatures. You get them when you get them.
Right.
But if your deadline's coming up close, now just remember, all you're doing is we're extending the deadline. But let's just say if you use number 3, you get 15 more days. You've extended the deadline, but haven't given them another reason out. I understand they don't want to get out because the contract hasn't changed. This only has to do with unforeseeable events.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the last one's other. I don't have any idea off the top of my head what we would want to extend, specific extensions that you might want to do. Maybe you're going to have a roof inspection or a public engineer come out and do something like that, but we can do that.
VA appraisal is already on.
VA appraisal. Yeah, absolutely. Anything like that you could put in there too.
Mark, I have a question. You made a comment about being the source of the source and not the source.
Yep.
And this is going back to, sorry, I don't know who was talking about their gentleman whose business was a little precarious at the moment. If they have a decent DTI and they have a small business, do we let them know, hey, you've got margin, contact FEMA. Contact FEMA for the small business assistance, and let's get you moving forward and get us past this hump.
I would yes, okay, because I saw credit scores one day last week go from 620 to 680. When I was selling real estate, and this was in 2007, I had the same type of deal. I had a guy that was locked in solid. Credit score changed but it changed hourly. He had to get more money and pay it off. So anything that we can do to help get our client, and it's in their best interest, Absolutely. Hey, here's a website, check this out. And be the source of the source. And then that way you're doing what's right by him to help get him going. He may or may not know what's going on, but just like always, stay in your lane unless you're the small business loan administrator authority. Don't say that this will work, but I think that's a great idea. It's it's the same exact thing too. Is if you have somebody that's got a 615 credit score and you have a lender that can get them 620, you're doing them a good service by hooking them up with somebody that can get the loan, and that's what they want. Good question. Down here on the bottom, it says this addendum shall not alter, modify, or change this contract except as modified herein. All the terms and provisions of the contract are expressly ratified and shall remain in full force and effect. They sign it, and there you go. So it's pretty simple. It doesn't give anybody an advantage, a buyer an advantage or a seller advantage. It's just kind of, we don't know what the world's going to be, and sometimes we can't perform because of unforeseeable circumstances. We've got questions. Cannot believe that I did such a wonderful job that nobody has questions. Miss Joy,
I'm good.
are you playing with the microphone? Well, you're probably getting ready.
No, I'm good. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you.
Okay. Listen,
And I'm listening to all of the great questions that my fellow realtors have asked, and I'm actually very good.
Okay. All right. So just to kind of jump on, I'm going to continue to do this, this training like this. This will obviously be a lot quicker than I think getting everybody in the room as far as time-wise. I'm going to try to have everything prepared like this. Does this format kind of work with you guys? I don't have all fancy slides, but I think
Yes.
Mark, this is perfect. This is perfect.
This is awesome.
This
so
is
Steve
awesome.
spent all this money and built this wonderful training room for me, and we're never going to use it.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
We will. When this is all over, we'll have a party in it.
Exactly.
Well, listen,
we need to have a big party in it.
There you go.
I think what I'm going to do is, because, I still come to work every day, and this is probably the safest place in the world, right? I think I'm going to bring my grill on Friday, have my own hot dog party. But anyway.
I'll come to you, Mark.
All right, I'm going to put tape on the lines like you got to be 3 parking places away or something like that. But on the 13th at 10 o'clock, I'm going to do the post-settlement occupancy. And then the 14th, we're going to do our sales meeting. And the 15th are buyer agreements. That is all I put out so far. I will do whatever y'all want to do. I'm trying to stay current with what's happening now, but I don't mind going back and doing some stuff. Just a couple things which y'all should be doing. Not letting up on your prospecting. Maybe our message is a little different. Instead of buy now, sell now, it's like, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. Listen, everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. Everybody doesn't know what's going on. Okay? Yeah. We can just reach out to people and say, we're here for you. Yeah. Listen, if you need toilet paper or you need a can of soup or you need something while I'm out, I'll help you. That's the kind of message that we need to do. We need to come from point of contribution and care about people that are around us. I'm going to tell you, I've never seen so many of my neighbors walk by my neighborhood and wave.
Exactly. That is really going on right now. People are walking. I went out myself in my neighborhood for a walk the other day, and it was a couple with their son. And the little boy, he couldn't have been, but maybe 2 if he was that old. And he looked at me, he said, "Hi, hi." And I was like,
"No, there are still people."
He's sick of looking at his parents in the house. He's a new face.
Yep.
He's like, "Hi." Like, hello. He was so sweet. So sweet. People are afraid.
The other thing which you might want to think about doing is going to DPR, see where you are in your education credits.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's my next question, because I was getting on the URE intranet because I have to do my CEs. And I mean, I have to do them. I had it all set up to do them down at FAR and do all of them in a couple days, and it's not there now.
Yeah. Mosley Real Estate, Mosley.org has all the free stuff there too. You can do it online. And I'll tell you what I do is once I renew my license, within 30 days, I knock out all my education. And because I teach at FAR, I have like 30 extra credits. Well,
can I borrow?
I still go to class when they have class available because I think you learn stuff. It's just like us having conversation here. You can read the addendum, but now you have some practical things, so it'll stick in your brain. But yeah, Mosley does everything for free.
They do, and this is something that, well, everyone's going to know about it now. I'm dyslexic.
Okay.
So when I get the contract, I look through the contract. I have it read into my recorder on my computer. I play it back because I am an audio person.
Okay.
I play it back and follow through. And it gets to the point, I love it when they change the contract. It gets to the point where I literally have to memorize each paragraph and subsection of the contract, because if I have to read through and find it, I'm not going to find it.
Right.
So Mosley kicks my backside when I have to read through it and then go back and do the questions. And it's like, okay, wait a minute, I read that wrong. Mosley and I don't get along, but we're going to have to.
So I will just share a little thing. What I do is I download, I do the whatever one you get the PDF book, it's 100 and some pages. And because I teach pre-licensing a lot, I mean, I know 75% of it without even opening the book. But what kills me is they'll say in example number 5, the fine was $500, $300, and $200. If you download that PDF and open up an Adobe, you can do search for example 3.
Okay.
Which will, I mean, you still have to read the material, but instead of scrolling through 20 pages to find out example 3, 2, and stuff like that, it might save you some time too.
Anything that would help.
Yeah, that's what I do. And then there's 2 of them with Mosley. One of them is a timed thing, and the other one is, I think it's, gosh, I don't remember if it's self-study or whatever. The time thing, you got to sit there and hit enter like every half hour or whatever. But the one that you download the PDF, you can do that. So that might help you out a little bit.
I literally wish that FAR or even the office or anyone had the continuing education classes like we're doing right now.
There is talk about it. The issue is with the Virginia Board of Real Estate approving these online classes like this. I still teach at FAR. I talked to Barbara, and she's trying to do some Zoom classes like this. We're trying to figure out, like I said, if they would allow us. Like I said, right now, I don't know if you guys are, sipping margaritas or actually paying attention to me. And I think that's the whole thing, because like for a 60-minute class, you have to attend like 50 minutes. If you come in 10 minutes late, you don't get credit. So that's the issue. But I agree. Hey, this stuff that we're in now is going to change the way we do business.
Yeah.
It's going to change the way we do business. And I mean, it's just like right now, the people that get this and figure this out, a way to do it, are going to come through the tunnel squeaky clean. The people that fight it and say, I'm not going to use a touch-tone phone, this internet's not going to hang out, TV is the devil. If you don't embrace the change, I don't particularly care for it either. I don't like not seeing people here when I talk. I can't see your face to go, if you understand. All I see is a little black screen, says Stephanie Walters on it. That's all I get to see. So, but my choice is to either plow through and continue to provide some type of training, some type of value to you guys, or not. Not's not an answer. That's the same thing with your business. I get it. We're all worried. We're all don't know. But who cares? Figure this out. I don't know if you guys are getting the Friday or the FAR emails. They're sending out a lot of stuff. I try to read everything just because I want to be, like I said, the source. Oh yeah, I remember that. They're talking about now how to do virtual open houses. This might now be the new ticket. This might be how we're going to do things. We might do a blend once it calms down. People might say, you know what, I don't want to go out and look anymore. Just zoom me around the house and let's see what's going on, and then I'll walk through. But embrace the change, get in front of it, and figure it out. Anybody else got anything? Anything? Got any worries, concerns, questions,
Not right
recipes?
now. That I have. I let my children make dinner the last 2 nights.
How was the peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Oh no, nope. I made a comment that, mommy has ground beef, so we're gonna make meatloaf. My kids are like, "What's a meatloaf?" Because they've never had it before.
There you go.
I said it's like a great big hamburger, but it's cooked in the oven all at one time, and you just slice it. So by the time my 7-year-old got done, my hamburger was stuffed with mozzarella and cheddar. The meatloaf was stuffed with mozzarella and cheddar cheese.
Oh, that sounds good.
By the time my son got done, it was topped with bacon and barbecue sauce.
Oh.
Hey, what a deal. Hey, just to let y'all know too, is I'm recording these trainings. I'm putting them up on my own YouTube page. If you just go in Guest Lock on YouTube, they're all going to be there. I'm also going to put these out, a link out to our Friday email too, so that way if you can have a resource of it if you need to go back. But look, I know you guys got a lot to do. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. And we're going to get through this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
Got it?
are.
Hey, look, there I am. That's how we do this. Okay, cool. I see some people there, but I don't see any video. You guys are scaring me. All right. If I got to get dressed up, y'all got to get. Oh, there's John. Look. See, there you go. Look at that. Yeah. Are you sporting the boxer shorts in the bottom, or business up top, party in the bottom? Not that I want to know. Oh no, let's not. Oh, cool. He doesn't have his sound on. That makes sense. So, oh, there's Stephanie. There we go.
Yeah, so sorry for that, by the way.
Okay, sound's on.
There you go. There you go. Hey, what are you seeing about your business? What's going on? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of activity still. I mean, we got a lot of people at home with nothing to do, and they're looking at homes online. But we are getting requests for showings. Of course, that creates a whole nother interesting dynamic of wanting people to come in and be safe and wearing the proper mask and gloves, which a lot of people can't get. But we're figuring it out. I mean, there's still a lot of activity out there.
I still think we're going to sell a lot of homes.
I agree.
I think we're going to be okay. I think,
I
that's the one thing I like about our business. Everybody needs a place to sleep. Not everybody needs new shoes or a new truck but everybody needs a place to sleep.
But the other thing, though, is that the
absolutely do. I think
inventory
we
is
just have to
low,
learn
though.
how to adapt a little bit to the changes. I think we're going to see industry-wide changes, like you were talking about with the virtual showings or open houses and things like that. I think that not only in our industry, but in many industries, I think things are going to change quite a bit, and you're going to see a lot of people staying from home and learning to do things remotely.
Mm-hmm. What I don't like about it is the human touch. You know what I mean? Actually seeing people.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, it's not.
The business we're in.
Yeah.
And I don't think that realtors will ever be obsolete because we're a person kind of industry. The millennials might not need us as much, but
studies are showing they still need us. They're still.
They are showing that. So
when it's time to really put ink on paper, they need us. They need us.
But we are going to have to adjust to how things are done because things are and will change.
Don't know if you saw Redfin laid off 41% of their realtors.
I saw that.
7% of their staff.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They're employees.
They're employees. their employees.
I
So
love
if you
that.
guys have ever done any deals with Redfin agents, now's a good time. I mean, I hate to say recruit them, but you know what? Might be worth a call.
If you don't
John,
like
did you
them.
get the website I put up on the meeting 2 weeks ago about gloves? If you are in need, you can get them there.
See where that information is.
I know. I think I popped it on our Friday email, but I know that gets archived. I don't know if you want to, Stephanie, put it in the chat.
I don't know how to access chat. Maybe this is it.
Yeah, at the bottom of
Maybe
the screen.
Hi, honey. It's
You see it at the
very easy.
bottom?
It's smartpractice.com.
And what is it for?
Gloves.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
When I worked in the dental field, I used them all the time. And I went back to the resource because I still had my connections extension, and I just gave her a call and said, hey, do I still have to be in the medical dental field to pick up supplies? And she said, no. She said, you do not. So I picked up a case and we have them at the house.
Awesome.
And as I
Thank you.
mentioned in the one meeting, I made the mistake of leaving a box in one of my houses for people to use when they go in. Learn from my mistake. Don't do that. The box disappeared.
All right, folks, I think that's it. If you guys, like I said, if you want to shoot me an email, text, or whatever, some trainings that you'd like to do, now's the time. When we have a little more downtime, make sure your website's up and running. Make sure it works. Get good in your business. Get really good in your business, because I do believe when we come through the people that are doing their jobs now, and I get it, I can't work from home. There's too many squirrels. There's too many things going on. I got to come to the box. I got to put the uniform on. Whatever your routine looks like, get up at 9 o'clock. Get ready at 9 o'clock. Go lock your bedroom door. Do your prospecting. Do your lead generation, and then go watch Oprah and be bored the rest of the day or whatever you do. But run your business like a business. So anyway. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for hanging out, and we'll continue to do this, okay?
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Mark.
Good day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Pam.
Hi, John. Glad you guys are all working. Keep up the good work.
You too. Working on my
Thank you.
CRM today.
Lori, while you're here,
That's what I got to do.
I was about to call you anyway. The Stringham account, I think I lost Lori.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Have to
think
go old
Lori
school and
went
call
off.
her.
Yep.
Take care.
Take care.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.